Most people think lying looks like something specific: shifty eyes, sweaty palms, a voice that cracks under pressure. But real psychological research tells a different story. The most common signs people search for online: avoiding eye contact, touching your nose, looking up and to the left. Most of those have never actually been proven by real studies. They're myths. Confident liars know this too, which is exactly why they can look you dead in the eye and lie without flinching. What actually gives someone away is different. It's smaller, it's faster, and once you know what to look for, you'll start noticing it in conversations you have every single day. These 6 signs come from real behavioral research, courtroom studies, FBI-trained interrogators, psychology labs that have spent decades studying deception. Not social media myths, real patterns. Sign number 4 is the one almost nobody catches, because it doesn't happen when someone is talking. It happens right after. 1. Watch what happens after they speak, not during. Most people watch a person's face while they're talking, trying to catch a tell in real time. But research from a University of Michigan study on courtroom behavior found something different. Liars are far more likely to use big, exaggerated hand gestures right after they finish a sentence, not during it. Here's why. When someone is lying, their mind is doing 2 things at once: building the story and watching your face to see if you're buying it. That split attention means their gestures lag slightly behind their words instead of flowing naturally with them. A truthful person's hands move with their words. A person managing a lie often finishes the sentence first, then the gesture catches up a beat later, like their body is still processing what their mouth just said. Next conversation you have, don't just listen to what's said. Watch the half-second right after. That's where the real tell shows up. 2. Micro-expressions. The flash you almost miss. A micro-expression is a flash of real emotion that crosses someone's face in a fraction of a second, faster than they can consciously control it. It happens, then it's gone, replaced by whatever expression they meant to show you. You won't always consciously catch the expression itself, but here's what's interesting. Most people still register it, even if they can't say why. That's the moment you get a strange feeling mid-conversation, the sense that something doesn't add up, even though you can't point to what. Psychologists consider this one of the most reliable signals in deception research because micro-expressions are almost impossible to fully suppress. The face does what the brain feels first, before the mask goes back on. That uneasy gut feeling you get around certain people even when their words sound perfectly fine. Trust it. Your brain caught something your conscious mind didn't have time to process. 3. They put distance or an object between you and them. This is one of the most consistent nonverbal patterns researchers have found. When someone is lying, they often unconsciously create physical separation, turning their body slightly away, crossing their arms, or placing an object like a cup, a phone, or a bag between themselves and you. Psychologists describe this as a self-protective response. Lying creates internal discomfort, and the body tries to reduce that discomfort by creating physical distance, even if the person has no idea they're doing it. It's rarely dramatic. Nobody storms across the room. It's a few inches, a turned shoulder, a coffee cup pulled a little closer to their chest like a small shield. But once you start watching for it, you'll see it everywhere. Compare that to how someone stands when they're telling you something true and difficult. They usually lean in, not away. Distance is the body quietly trying to disconnect from what it's saying. 4. Their pronouns change. This is sign number 4, the one almost nobody catches because it's buried inside ordinary sentences. Linguistic research on deception has found that liars tend to use more third-person language and fewer first-person words when describing what happened. Instead of "I did this" or "I said that," you'll hear more "people said," "someone mentioned," or oddly distanced phrasing for something that directly involves them. It's a subtle linguistic trick the mind does almost automatically, putting psychological distance between the speaker and the lie, the same way the body puts physical distance between you and them. Next time someone explains something suspicious, listen for how often they say "I" versus how often they slide into vague, distanced language. The shift is small, but it's there. 5. Their voice changes in ways they can't control. When cortisol rises, which it does under the stress of lying, the vocal cords physically tighten. This isn't something a person can consciously fake or fully hide. It shows up as a slightly higher pitch, a faster pace, or a subtle strain that wasn't there a moment ago. This is also where cultural context actually matters, which most online advice ignores completely. Research has found that vocal pitch shifts during lying aren't universal. They can move in different directions depending on a person's cultural background. The point isn't the direction, it's the change itself. You know how someone normally sounds when their voice doesn't match their usual tone, too high, too fast, too tight. That gap between the emotional truth and the verbal truth is worth paying attention to. 6. The story holds up until you ask for it backward. This is the most powerful sign on this list, and it's also the only one you can actively use instead of just observing. Lying is mentally taxing. A truthful memory can be recalled in any order because it actually happened. Forward, backward, out of sequence, it doesn't matter. A fabricated story is usually rehearsed in one direction only, forward, the way it was built. Research has found that asking someone to tell their story in reverse order, starting from the end and working backward, dramatically increases the chances of catching a lie. The cognitive load becomes too much. Details start contradicting. Pauses get longer. The smooth story falls apart. You don't need to interrogate anyone, just once calmly ask, "Wait, walk me through that again, but starting from the end." Watch what happens to their confidence in that moment. 6 signs. The gesture that lags behind the words. The micro-expression you feel before you see. The distance they put between you. The pronouns that shift away from I. The voice that tightens under pressure, and the story that only holds up when told one direction. None of these are about catching someone in a gotcha moment. Real deception research is clear that no single sign proves anything on its own, but when you notice 2 or 3 of these stacking together in the same conversation, that's not paranoia. That's pattern recognition. You don't need to become suspicious of everyone around you. You just need to trust what your own awareness is already picking up on, long before you can put it into words. Which of these 6 have you caught in real life? Comment the number. You might be surprised how many people relate to the exact same one.